The eldest daughter of Kremlin Speaker Dmitry Peskov, 27-year-old Liza Peskova, unlike his other 4 children, is a public figure. The media reported that he secretly got married and took her husband's surname to avoid Western sanctions imposed on her father. Elizaveta Peskova was born on January 9, 1998 in Turkey, in the second marriage of the press secretary of the Russian president with Ekaterina Solotsinskaya. In addition to her, Peskov has another daughter and 3 sons, writes Telegraph. According to journalists, Liza's parents forced her to learn languages from childhood, and now she is fluent in English and French and can speak Turkish, Chinese, and Arabic. The daughter of Speaker Vladimir Putin studied at a boarding school in Normandy. Later, she entered the Institute of Asian and African Countries at Moscow State University in Moscow, and then continued her education at the Paris School of Business in France. Elizaveta completed her master's degree at the Moscow State Institute of International Relations, after which she lived in Moscow. Since the beginning of the full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine, Peskova has been unable to travel to Europe due to sanctions. At the same time, she founded the outerwear brand Liza and Sasha in the Russian capital, but the company was liquidated in November 2022. Liza Peskova subsequently became a co-founder of the advertising agency Centrum Moscow. In February 2022, Dmitry Peskov's daughter published a story on Instagram with the hashtag Noah, but this did not save her from anti-Russian sanctions, writes the publication Verstka. In March of the same year, the daughter of the speaker Putin was included in the US sanctions list, and a little more than 2 months later, she was under sanctions from the European Union. According to journalists in March 2025, information about Liza Peskova's secret marriage appeared. She allegedly took the surname of her husband, 25-year-old businessman Danil Romashkov, to avoid sanctions. Journalists note that Romashkov, who is associated with the elite and developers of St. Petersburg, divorced his first wife in order to marry Peskova. The secret wedding allegedly took place on July 14, 2024, and 4 months later, according to media reports, the couple had a son. However, Liza Peskova herself and her father have never officially commented on these reports.
A group of European leaders joined President Volodymyr Zelensky and President Donald Trump for critical talks at the White House in hopes of bringing an end to Russia's war on Ukraine. According to Associated Press, Monday's hastily assembled meeting comes after Trump met with Russian President Vladimir Putin and has said that the onus is now on Zelensky to agree to concessions that he said could end the war. The European group was left out of Friday's summit, and they are looking to safeguard Ukraine and the continent from any widening aggression from Moscow.
Hello, everybody. You're right.
Yeah, now I understand.
That was not a good day. See the picture. Is everything okay? You all set? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Key European leaders are gathering at the White House Monday for President Donald Trump's meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. According to Associated Press, first to arrive at the White House's South Lawn was NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte. He was followed shortly by European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. Other leaders expected Monday include French President Emmanuel Macron, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, Italian Premier Giorgia Meloni and Finnish President Alexander Stubb. On the table for discussion are possible NATO-like security guarantees that Ukraine would need for any peace with Russia to be durable. Putin opposes Ukraine joining NATO outright, yet Trump's team claims the Russian leader is open to allies agreeing to defend Ukraine if it comes under attack.
No.
Ready doors, ready pop, ready open.
Mr. Secretary,
This is okay?
you look very handsome as always. Nice to see you, my friend.
Ready close,
Thank
you so much.
The White House.
ready shut.
Very
How are you?
nice.
Yes, we know. Supervisor, so good to see you. So good to see you.
Momentous day.
Ready two, ready face. Ready two, ready doors, ready pop, ready open.
Not the president, but a pleasure to see you again.
Ready close, ready shut. Ready two, ready face.
During the Oval Office meeting between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and President Donald Trump, Brian Glenn, a conservative reporter, told Zelensky that, "You look fabulous in that suit." According to Associated Press, Glenn had asked the Ukrainian leader about his clothing during his last visit to the Oval Office, implying that his casual dress was disrespectful. Trump jumped in saying, "I said the same thing." Turning to Zelensky, Trump said, "That's the one that attacked you last time." "I remember that," Zelensky said as laughter rippled through the room. As Zelensky answered a question about the difficulty of holding an election during Ukraine's war with Russia, Trump appeared to jokingly hypothesize how a similar circumstance could allow him to stay in power in the US past the expiration of his current term. "So let me just say 3.5 years from now, so you mean, if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, I wonder what the fake news would say," Trump said. Zelensky noted the difficulties of being able to hold elections during wartime, saying that a truce would be needed to do so safely. "We can do security," Zelensky said. "We need a truce, yes, everywhere, the battlefield, the sky, and the sea, to make it possible for people to do democratic open legal elections." Zelensky wants security guarantees as part of any deal to end Russia's war against his country. Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, mentioned NATO-style security guarantees for Ukraine as he was being interviewed on Sunday talk shows. "It's on the meeting agenda. We're going to be discussing it today," Trump said. He said European leaders want to give Ukraine protection and the US will participate.